The pictures were exactly what you'd expect from a European summer vacation. Cafes in Italy and Spain, the Guinness Brewery in Ireland. So 24-year-old Ashley Payne, a public high school English teacher in Georgia, was not prepared for what happened when her principal asked to see her in August 2009.
He just asked me, "Do you have a Facebook page?" And, I was still confused as to why I was being asked this, but I said yes. And he said, "Do you have any pictures of yourself up there with alcohol?"
In fact, the picture that concerned the principal, showing Payne holding a glass of wine and a mug of beer, was on her Facebook page. There was also a reference to a local trivia contest with a profanity in its title. She was told a parent of one of her students called to complain. And then, Payne says, she was given a choice: resign or be suspended.
He told me that I needed to make a decision before I left that room, or he was going to have to go on and suspend me.
She resigned. Attorney Richard Storrs is fighting to get Payne's job back.
It would be like I went to a restaurant and I saw my daughter's teacher sitting there with her husband having a glass of some kind of liquid. Is that frowned upon by the school board? Is that illegal? Is that improper? Of course not. It's the same situation in this case.
But here's the really troubling part. Payne had used the privacy settings on Facebook. She thought that only her closest friends could see her vacation photos or her use of the B word.
I wouldn't use it in the classroom, no, but Facebook is not the classroom, and it's not open to the students of my classroom. They are not supposed to see it. I have privacy in place so that they don't see it.
Privacy? What Ashley Payne or any one of us who uses the internet has to realize is this. Today our private lives are no longer so private.
When we talk about a right to privacy, what we're really talking about is the right to control information we consider to be private.
Frederick Lane is an attorney and the author of American Privacy.
Considering what happened to Ashley Payne, does that mean that even when you think you have some amount of privacy on a page, you may not?
You absolutely may not. All it takes is one person making a copy of what you've posted, and it's out in the wild, and you no longer have that control.
And we're not losing that control, we're giving it away. Every time we buy with credit cards, use cell phones which signal our location, or post pictures on social networks like Facebook. Just sending an email may make public private information.
That's what is a constant tension in our society. We trade information that our parents and our grandparents would have considered private for fun, for convenience, that kind of thing.
We are our own worst enemy.
I don't think there's any question about that at all. I think that we're giving it up. We're putting it out into the world.
The tension between technology and privacy is nothing new. In the late 19th century, there was an outcry over a seemingly harmless invention, the first Kodak camera, and the birth of snapshot photography.
For the first time, people were sneaking around taking photos of other people without their permission.
It sparked this, an 1890 Harvard Law Review article in which the future Supreme Court Justice, Louis Brandeis, and attorney Samuel Warren warned against an ongoing loss of privacy. Today, one of the fastest growing businesses on the internet is something called data mining. Companies collecting our private information, packaging it, using it, selling it.
I think this is your Social Security number.
Yes, it is.
Michael Furtick, a Harvard Law School grad who runs a company called Reputation.com, came up with information I thought was private. I was wrong. He also revealed what he called my online reputation, based mainly on where I happen to live.
Our query is pretty confident that you're a Catholic, and also we're pretty confident that you donate a lot to charitable causes.
But that may not be correct.
That may not be correct.
And then there's something that could cause a real headache down the road.
There's an Aaron F. Moriarty who grew up just a few miles from where you did, who has been convicted of serving alcohol to minors. And it would be very easy for a machine to confuse you and that person and to think that you are a convicted criminal.
I mean, the reality is that most people don't even look past page 1.
Verdict's company helps people track down and correct misinformation, but most of us will never even know it's there.
The dossier on each of us that is easily aggregated digitally is now probably, let's say, call it 10 pages. 4 years ago it was 2 pages. In 4 or 5 years it's going to be 100 pages. Why? Because the amount of data that's being collected about each of us every day proliferates.
But David J. Moore, who runs 24/7 Real Media, an internet advertising firm, seems unfazed. He points out that marketing information about potential customers is really nothing new.
Magazine publishers for years have been selling the list of subscribers they have to advertisers that want to send a mailing to them.
And keep in mind, the more specific, detailed the information, the better companies can target their advertisements to customers who really want it.
Let's ask the 500 million people that are on Facebook, how concerned are they about their privacy? Or the 100 million that are on MySpace. Most of them really don't care.
Don't tell that to high school teacher Ashley Payne.
Yes, I put it on the internet, so you can make the argument that because it's on the internet, it's public, regardless of whether or not I made it private. But it sort of feels like the same thing as if I had had those pictures in a shoebox in my house and someone came in and took them and showed one of those pictures to my principal.
What's worse, after she resigned her job at Appalachia High School, Payne says she learned the original complaint came in an anonymous email, not in a phone call from an angry parent.
No parent has ever claimed it. There's never been any other complaints against me at the school from teachers, students, or parents.
Officials at the Barrow County Schools who declined to speak to Sunday Morning have so far refused to rehire Payne. In court documents, they say teachers were warned about unacceptable online activities. Payne's page, they say, promoted alcohol use and contained profanity. She is now in graduate school and is suing the district. She says she wants to be sure that the internet won't just record how Ashley Payne lost her job, but that she fought back.
I want to clear my name, first of all. I just want to be back in the classroom, if not that classroom, a classroom. I want to get back to doing what I went to school for, my passion in life.